Welcome to PHS 6. I'm Larry Mans along with Tom Rosenbaum, bringing you the volleyball match between the Huskies of Northern and the Port Huron Big Reds. Northern comes into this match with a record of 6-1 in the MAC and 20-2 overall, while the Big Reds are 3-2 in the MAC and 7-6 overall. Northern Huskies have been involved in a couple more tournaments than the Big Reds. The Big Reds will be playing this cross-town rivalry without the services of Akeelia Collier, who last night injured her shoulder. She's a key player, Tom, and what effect do you think that's going to have on the ball game?
Well, you know, Akeelia has been a good all-around volleyball player for Rebecca Falk for the last couple of years. Unfortunately, the Big Reds are coming off one of the best games of the season on Wednesday night against Stevenson, where Akeelia had an outstanding game. The effects of the game, some of the girls are going to have to pick up their level, play a little bit. People like Golding, Burry, Lars DeLeer, and Schultz, and hopefully the people that are going to sub for Akeelia will be able to come in and do a nice sound job.
That seems to be the case, you know, when there's people that are injured, the kids usually pick it up. Yeah, the Huskies have won the toss, and Jennifer Graham will get this match started for the Huskies. Christy Berry.
That's a nice play by
Davey. Davey's an excellent player also, and at the point for the Huskies. And I just mentioned it this time after this match, the Huskies will travel to Yale to pick up the Soviet national junior team.
The key tonight, too, for Port Huron in place for Akeelia Collier is Jackie Smith starting setter. So far, she's doing a nice job. The key is for her to have a nice, consistent ball game.
Well, she only, right now, I think just a matter of feeling each other out, find out where there might be some soft spots in the defense. And I just noticed that the Big Reds, rather than a couple of kills, they use some soft shots in there to make the Huskies move a little bit. As that side out, excuse me, I'm going to say side out, we got Jackie Smith serving for the Big Reds.
What that'll do is keep them on their toes a little bit. They can't go off the block all the time, and do that and have success with it a few times, what it does is it'll open up your game.
Oh, nice sharp set by Davey, and one off the net that fell for the Huskies was side out, and Davey serving for the Huskies. They lead 1-0 in the first game of this match. Good serve, nice good topspin on that. Really hard to handle, and point for the Huskies. Davey serving.
She's got a lot of movement. Davey's got a lot of movement on that ball. It's very similar to a knuckleball in baseball where it dances quite a bit, and the Big Red's having a hard time picking it up, I think.
What we found there, too, was just a violation of the official call to left.
Nice set by Jackie Smith.
Good idea. Not quite over the net. Point for the Huskies. They lead 4-0. Our officials for tonight are Chris Zielinski and Susan Creepover.
There's another one of those knuckleballs.
Knuckleball call looks to me like either left or 2 hits.
Yes, it rolled up her arm a little bit that time.
A little communication back there. That ball may have gone out of bounds in the end of that.
Nice change of pace there by Davey. Tip by Smith. Good decision by Chrissy Berry.
Little turnaround there by Smith.
Sometimes when they do that ball almost looks like a throw. That's something I wouldn't be surprised if it's called once in a while. It's almost looks like you're taking the ball and throwing it back.
It's almost like a sideline movement.
Exactly.
Right? And the ball really should not rest on the hands at all. That was a good timeout by Coach Falk. Team trailing 6-0 the first game of this match. And then we talked before when we've done these games, found the fact that momentum in volleyball seems to be more important than almost any other sport. I'm not sure that's a true statement, but it seems
it's absolutely. We were down, as I said last night at Stevenson, and the Big Reds were up 13-5, and next thing you know, it's 13-13 in the first game. Fortunately, they had a couple crucial timeouts and changed things up a little bit and went on to win the game. But you're sitting there thinking with 13-5 lead that you feel pretty comfortable with. Next thing you know, it's high score. So momentum is very important.
Time is back in, and Davey is serving for the Huskies.
Right now, the Big Reds aren't really into the offense too much. Two great plays by Kim Valdez.
Nice defense going on there. Cross angle.
That looked like a left-handed hit there.
Nice to see that ambidextrousness come out.
Okay. Good movement on both sides right now.
Nice hit. Nice hit.
Kim Valdez did a nice job keeping the ball in play off of those Smith plays.
Two excellent plays. Kerry Golding serving for the Big Reds. They trail by 6.
That's a left.
Unusual call, usually for Davey because she's such an excellent setter.
Absolutely.
Her technique usually is flawless, but a call for a left point for the Big Reds.
That's another left there. Kerry Golding serves have improved tremendously from last year to this year. She's taking her time to become a little more smooth with it.
Well, not only that, she's getting to the end of the court, which really is, they've got to make a decision, and usually it's to hit it.
Again, it's a case where you're making them work to get the ball up for the sets.
Nice play in the back.
Nice hustle.
Number 11, who was Michelle Brown, didn't have a good position for that set. So 3 straight points by Golding. And I mentioned in talking with Coach Falk before the game, she said that in the last match,
Nice block by
43 out of 45 on a serve.
That's a good block by Chrissy. Had her hands turned a little bit outside and went outside, but it it's nice to see him going up and trying to block those.
A substitution coming in for the Huskies. Gary Reed, number 7, replacing number 6, who is Hillary Oxley. Sherry Smith serving. Huskies lead by 3. Here's 6-3.
Here's a situation now where Smith is going to go to the back row, and they bring in Gary Reed, who's 6 foot, who is a very good volleyball player and is only a junior.
And you got a nice hit out of the line by that time. But when you've got that kind of depth too, you can use that substitution really to keep your good hitters in the front, and of course you can do some rotating, but good substitution by these coaches. They know what kind of personnel they have and they use it well.
Nice hit by Sarah Schultz. Nice set by Christy Berry.
Nice cross set by Reed on the side out. Big Reds trail by 5. It was not sure the point on the scoreboard they just went up. I'm not sure that's an error or it was an error. So they had to score 7-3. The Big Reds trail by 4 in the first game of this match.
Dana Hodgins is coming in here to play the front row for Kim Valdez. Point for the Big Reds there. Schultz serving now.
The Huskies look just a little bit disorganized back here at this point in the game. They have an interesting receiving lineup. They always keep Davey in the middle. A nice play by Golding. And again, a nice high set.
A nice block by Lucy Larger and Christy Berry.
Side out. Excuse me, a point, 7-5. Schultz serving. Almost a knuckleball you talked about, but a little indecision on the part of Brown and Smith as to who's going to take it. That's a tough call an official has to make, because usually if the shoulders are squared to the ball, they wouldn't be called for that. That was a cross-angle shot that was coming, and she had her body in an angle which meant that it had to hit 2 parts of her body. But these are good officials, and
Martin and Case come into the lineup. Martin's now serving for the Huskies.
Coverage on the front row, point for the Huskies. They lead by 2 in the first game of the match, 8-6. Shannon Martin serving. Nice play by Lazarilla. Top the far corner. Smith had to reach for the arm rather than move the feet to play that one. Christy Berry serving for the Big Reds. Trail by 2.
Jerry Cameron is now coming in for Jackie Smith and play the front row.
Now that gives them some spiking power up in the front.
A little miscommunication there. Called Dana Hodgins with the lift. And again, you're gonna have a little bit of this with Akil not playing. We have to be
Make some adjustments in the lineup, right?
It's just a matter of time. It's a nice set by Christy Berry. Nice attack by Cameron. A nice play saved by Angela Line.
And that's a difficult thing to do, because she starts at the back line, not sure where the ball is going to drop in the corner, and had to make that reach. So side out, service to the Big Reds. Larsler serving. Long, side out.
You know what? With Lamont coming in here and going for the ball, you like to see him be aggressive. You'd rather see him go for a ball that's close than let it drop and hit the
Oh, no question about that. Because usually if they go for it, they made their mind up and they're in position.
Hopkins comes into the lineup now for Reed. Play the back row.
Good block by Bailey. substitution number 6. Coming in, Valdez for Hodgins. Kim Valdez will be serving. She's 11th grader. 3-point difference in this game. Big Reds trail by 3. Pretty hard to stop that attack, isn't it? Excellent spike by Smith.
Sherry was a very good volleyball player for the last couple of years. But what I think she's done in the last year, probably playing some AAU volleyball and such, is that she's gotten a lot more aggressive, and she is really pounding the ball this year. That ball could have broken a couple arms maybe if they tried to block that. She's
she's a good elevation too on that. First key to that, we talked about before, is your center is so important in that being able to get the ball in the right position. You get that angle, and David does an excellent job of that. We'll play to the corner. They're coming on again. Smith was out of bounds a little on that one, a side out.
what Coach Davey has done is he knows that he's got some real strong firepower in Smith and also in Reed, and not taking away from any of the other hitters that he has. But what he's tried to do is change things up and come around with some different offensive looks to get them involved in as many ways as possible. We've seen short set, we've seen a come around, we've seen just a regular hit. Just trying to utilize their skills as much as possible.
Put a little pressure on the defense too. It's not only which end of the kind of good play by Schultz. Point for the Big Reds. 12-2. They come back on this game and throw the Huskies off, and they're 6-0 to win. So the Big Reds were well into this game. Again, a little back set. Short set.
Yeah, they've got to be watching. What they've got to be doing is watching what Sherry Smith is doing to anticipate what kind of hit's going to come up. Right now, she has been the big hitter for them, and they've got to keep an eye on her and watch when she's creeping up for those kind of things. It's a nice, safe play by Christy Berry. Nice recovery by Carrie Golden. Something you won't see very often. Nice play by Lars Lear. Valdez back over. Here she comes now. What I was saying earlier, so you won't see very often is Sherry Smith setting the ball. But again, it's good heads-up play in that Davey had the first hit and she couldn't take the next one, so she set the ball for her.
Well, it's key to being able to do all things, which makes you, well-rounded volleyball player. You have to be able to handle, both that set and the defensive plays as well. They had a little focus with that time, and point for the Big Reds. They trail only by 1. They kept the Huskies in the number 9 down for the last 3 or 4 rotations. So, bowling serving. A little communication going on now with the Big Reds. Nice comeback there, Scott. The communication between each other really makes a difference.
Now Smith will go to the back row and Reed will come in to play the front row for Hoxie.
We saw that rotation earlier on the service round that the Huskies had. They lead by 1. Smith serving.
Nice pass.
Nice from the back row. Very long on the set. Cross-court set by Brown. The side out. And a substitution. Hodgins coming in.
For Valdez.
So again, both these coaches using their personnel well.
Schultz was lucky with that one. I think that was going to be out. She was glad to see that one stick.
Good elevation. Good attempt by Dana. She was going cross cut by that one and caught it just a little bit low.
Martin and Casey come into the lineup. I believe it was Martin serving.
by Schultz. Into the net. And a timeout again. The previous timeout from Coach Rock. Huskies win it by 4 in this last service rotation. Scores 8-12 first game of this match. Kind of refreshing so far in this game where we have this going on.
Well, the Huskies jumped out to a real quick lead there. It looked like, it could have been a real quick first game. Coach Falk called timeout, and since then, the Big Reds managed to get back into the ballgame. They're doing a nice job hustling. They're having no real problems that you would expect with a new type of rotation. So right now, we're still looking at a pretty good match. All things considered, the Big Reds have got to be very pleased with hanging in there with some of the setbacks they've had. But yet, Northern's such a powerhouse. They seem to be doing things so well. Joy Davies like a shoving machine. And if she continues to do it to Reed and Smith, it's going to be a long game for the Big Reds.
Good serves, nice play by Lazier. Hodgins and Smith setting the front. Again, Davey with a short set. Good defense by Golding. Nice block by Barry. Good communication back row, so we didn't have a double hit on that. Out of bounds. The ball's out of bounds on the other side of game 10. We have a side out. Service to the Big Reds.
Jody Cameron going to come in for Jackie Smith.
And again, Coach Falk using the personnel. Wants to have somebody in that front row from hit. With Barry in the back row. Very important service opportunity this time for the Big Reds, trailing by 4. Nice play by Schultz. A little bit of coverage on the net ball in by Reed. And an excellent hit. Saved by Schultz, and the ball just rolled over the net and onto the other side for side out.
We have not seen very many attacks on the part of the Big Reds. It looks like they're trying to play a little bit too much defensive volleyball instead of being aggressive and trying to attack the ball. Northern is attacking the ball here left and right, and being successful, being very aggressive. I think the Big Reds, in order to get back in this game and to play a good second game, they've got to learn to attack the ball and don't try to take the ball as much.
That's a good point because maybe they did make that adjustment from that 6-0 start they had over behind. Maybe feeling the effects of Collier not in there, and Collier's one of their big attackers, so somebody's got to pick up the weight of Collier. Good save by Davey. Just inside deep, side out, on the hurdle in the defense. Huskies will be serving. After this substitution, we have Oxy in. She'll be serving for the Huskies. Lazier and Schultz in the back row, ready to receive. Play by Barry. 3 ball for Huskies. And again, nice turnaround. Good attempt by Schultz. This is game point. Scores 14-8. First game of this match. Huskies serving. Free ball. And we had a net violation.
What happened was when Smith came in to fake the ball,
Across the center line.
center line.
Service side out. Big Reds still in this game.
Without Benjamin for Hodgins.
They trailed by 6, 14-8 in the first game of this match, so they need a run here of at least 8 points and must win the match by 2. The Huskies away, 1 point away from victory. Into the net. Point, Big Reds, 14-9. And again, we have Lam in the back, along with Cates. case going up. Nice cover hole.
Jennifer Graham coming in, as well as Michelle Brown.
And again, we get back to that 1 point at this point. Huskies need to win the first game of this match. They lead by 14-10. And again, Jennifer Graham in the serving shot. Huskers win the first game of this match 15-10. And time just to wrap up the first game.
Yeah, we had mentioned a little bit during the first game. Northern is doing an outstanding job. Davey is setting the ball extremely well. Reed and Smith are attacking the ball very, very well. I think what PH's got to do is just turn it up a notch. Instead of playing defensive volleyball, they've got to go after them and attack the ball a little bit. They do have some firepower in their offense, and I think for them to get into the ball game and get some confidence, they've got to start being a little more aggressive.
Well, we're going to see if Coach Falk has found the same thing that you have, and we'll be right back. Third hands again, the Town Road and volleyball match between the Huskies and Northern and the Big Reds. Huskies kicked off the first game 15-10, and the Big Reds will be serving the second game with Jackie Smith serving shot. Side out, rotation, service goes to the Huskies with Graham serving. Let's see if Big Reds pick up on those things that you noted, huh? Call it in the corner. 1 point, Huskies. Close call for the official, but he had a good angle on it, so right in the corner. It was blocked by the bar. Tom couldn't see it.
Nice pass by Schultz. Okay.
Well, picking up on the attack, and that's good. They made that count between games.
And what they can't do is get disillusioned if they miss a couple of attacks. They've got to keep going and going and going with it.
Nice soft touch by Davey on the hole. Big Reds lead by 3. This happened in the first game where Huskies got off to a quick start, and the Big Reds came back very well.
They're having a hard time getting in sync here.
Just getting organized here.
Again,
Huskies lead.
Graham's also got a little bit of movement on her serve.
Yes, she does. She's been a strong server all year for the Huskies.
A great play by Smith, and I think it might have been Lalonde, was it?
And number 5 helped North Lapis along with that. So, again, maybe using all his personnel. Golden serving for the Reds.
Lapis is going to be a junior also. They have some quality people coming back next year.
Nice angle, Smith on the corner, side out. Service to the Huskies. Joy Davey.
Davey did a nice job in game 1 with serving.
She's had that experience, and she's a senior. Does a nice job. Played by Schultz, tough call. She cut Smith and Long up in the net and just got it over. So
See Dana Hodgkin's come in to line up for Ann Rowley.
we call it out. That's something up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that'll be a side out. Schultz will be serving. Nice serve with some top spin. Yeah, nice short set by Davey.
Again, there's a movement on the net. I'm not sure where that movement came from. The ball didn't get fully over. On the side out.
Kerry Reed now in the lineup.
Smith serving. That was wide. Talking with Coach Falk before, she's very pleased with the serving she had in the last game. Probably the best game that they've played. Thought they came in high against the Huskies because of the excellent game they did against Sterling Heights. So she said they were 43 out of 45 in the serving department. I think they're pretty close to that today. That short set is tough.
They don't have a lot of time to get ready to block it. And when you hit a ball, it can down almost in the 10-foot spiking line. There's some vertical drop that. Reed is really put on the floor tonight.
Well, at the point you made earlier, too, we haven't seen many block attempts in part of Big Reds. And following where that ball is going, and naturally that short set is really hard to defend against, but still we didn't see anybody at the net to try to do that, and maybe they'll need to pick that up at the next time out. On the center, sort of a knuckleball achieved in there. Didn't quite get all of it, but it was effective.
Exactly. As long as it hits the floor, you're in good shape.
Mazzler serving.
I think Joe yourself's kind of laughing at that one. Nice serve by Lars Lear. Good play by David to get it out of the net.
Watch that ball go in and play
At
the bottom.
got it over. Nice block by Kerry Reed and O'Malley.
Good play by Davey to get the ball in back row.
Long by Gold.
They're talking. That's good. Making that play, and I'm sure they'd like to have it good. Go on serving. Just out. But again, looking for that open corner. Almost had it. Point for the Huskies. They lead 5-0 in the second game of the match.
We've done a lot of talking about Kerry Reed and Sherry Smith and Joy Davey, but in order to make that combination of centers and hitters be successful, it's the other people like the Browns, the Baraboo's, the Browns, the Cates, the Reeds, the Martins, and the Hodges, the people that pass the ball so that she can get the opportunity to make those sets.
Oh, there's no question, when you look at that and you see the kind of players that you have out there. Volleyball is not a one-person game. You've got to have all of those people. It's all the, I mentioned earlier, both coaches using all the personnel they have and getting them into the game and figuring out where they can best help the team. Just as we see right now with Kim Valdez coming in for Dana Hodges back into that serving position. So
It's become a lot more specialized. It's almost like football nowadays. We have certain situational defenses come in. Guys they're in on first and 10, aren't there on second and long. So it's a game where you develop a role and become a part of the program.
and they become comfortable in those roles and understand it, which takes a lot of discussion on the part of the coach to make sure that the kids understand where they belong and how they fit and how important that child is to the team. So no question about it. It's one of those things when they understand it, it makes it a lot easier. Good play by Smith. Again, having that height and reach advantage made a good defensive play. Number 6, Chloe Hoxie serving. Good back set. Out of bounds, just a little bit long. Huskies lead the game 8-0. Good timeout by Coach Fall. They were down 6-0 in the first game. Came back well and held the Huskies at the 9 point for about 4 service rotations, and see what kind of adjustments happen right now during this timeout.
Well, it's hard being down 8-0, especially if you lost the first game. But it becomes a pride factor when you're playing across town by a team. You know they're very good. What you don't want to do is you don't want to basically, for lack of a better term, be embarrassed by it. Again, they've had some how you're moving out and such. But you got to do it, pull yourself together and get back and play for a little bit of pride right now.
Yeah, and that's very important, and I know the basketball team's trying to do the same thing. The pride is back. Nice play. Nice attempt there by Barlow. A side out. Substitution. Jackie Smith into the lineup for the Big Reds. Should be replaced with Jody Cameron. And Smith will take over the serving spot. They need a run right now, Tom, in terms of points. They got to get off that 0 mark. Again, nice angle, good elevation. Hard to defend against. The ball was on the floor before Liza Lillard could get there, and she made a great attempt.
Raymond Lakers should put in the lineup for the Huskies. Coach Davey is doing a nice job of getting a lot of people involved. I believe he's almost had everybody involved in it.
And again, that's the kind of thing with volleyball where you can key those players in, use the skills that they have, and points you made earlier, it's a team game, not a one-person game.
And that's serving for the Huskies.
Very indecision in the center, side out. Very good in the serving position. Carey has a serve with something on it, has been successful with it. Nice short set. Kids have been making some good passes to the center. Both teams have been doing that. And that's a skill that takes a lot of practice.
It is really, it's not as easy as it looks.
Well, you're exactly right, because now, you have to judge the strength or how hard you receive that ball, but, the distance and the elevation, so. Davies on the serve. Good play in the back, on the left. Side out. Sarah Schultz done an excellent job this game. He's been in the game defensively and offensively, and he's really showed a great deal of hustle. And she's been in both of these games. As soon as you do that, sometimes I'm not sure you don't jinx them, but at least you got to recognize their effort. Smith.
Reed back in the lineup.
Smith will be serving. Huskies lead by 6, 8-2, second game of the match. Good play by Golding. Just out of bounds. Dana had a good idea there, and nobody in the back corner, just wide by the width of the ball. Yeah, what happens sometimes is, they feel comfortable with that lead, and yet, each point is important, and it looked like a tennis serve near that point. short set. Point for the Big Reds. They trail by 6. 9-3.
Teams that play the Huskies have got to thank goodness when they finally get Reed, or not Reed, when they finally get Smith in the back row. And the next thing you know, you go to the back end and you bring in somebody like Harry Reed. Like there's
No
nobody
different.
in sight.
Yeah, the interesting call like play the official ball, so really in the fingertips of number 5, who is Eric Lakefish. Having to have, 2 hitters like that on the same team is sort of tough to deal with. And again, but the options that he gives the coach, so it's strategically place them so in the rotation they've always got somebody up there hitting. Scores 9-4. Huskies lead.
O'Malley and Barron will be checking the line for the Huskies. When we replace Reekus and Graham.
Look, we might be at that 3-point or that 3-time substitution if my numbers are correct, but I'm sure the coach is more aware of that than we are.
Barron will be serving.
Good play by Barry. Got Duke. And the back players coming up. Caught him off balance. Side out. Service to the Big Reds. Marzler serving. Well, when you do that back set, it takes, you really got to be aware of the player is going to receive that. And, I don't know what kind of singles they use, but I'm sure that they do have a signal for that back set. The side out. Picked up 1 point of the deficit. They trail by 4. 9-5. Second game of this match. Milan serving. Again, you mentioned the movement of the ball out of the line. It doesn't look like it might have curved at the last minute. Hit Barry on the shoulder. Violation of the line, the center line. The line directly below the net. You can have a cross, a foot violation until the side out. Service to the Big Reds.
Valdez will come in and serve for Cordion to replace Hodgins.
Officials are very decisive in their calls, though. There's not the hesitation, which is really good.
This is probably one of the best set of officials that we have in this area. It's not taken away from the other ones. We've seen always get really good officials that both Cordion High School and Cordion North.
Well, not only that, it's also still the fact that they're aware that when they keep the game moving, even with all the substitutions, and some of the games, because it is the umpire's responsibility to make sure that they're in proper space for serving purposes and keep that game moving. Like somebody that's had that experience. So we're fortunate to have good officials. Nice comeback by Golden, and blocked by Smith, and got caught with a lift.
Hillary Hawks is serving now for the Huskies. There's also a pretty nice crowd here tonight for this volleyball match.
Side out. And there's a point. A little bit long. Hillary's still serving. Huskies 12-5 in the lead. Second game of the match. And again, having just a little bit of difficulty with that serve. I think that might be a foot position kind of thing, Tom, before we receive it.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're in the back row, you get caught. You're wondering if it's going to be out or not, and you try to bail out at the last minute, and you can't, and you have to take it. Then the ball basically is rolling up your arm.
Nice play.
Nice block by Schultz.
Substitution for the Big Reds, number 14.
Lisa Larzalier.
Lisa Lashbrook.
I'm sorry, you're right. Lisa Lashbrook's going in for Joey Cameron.
Huskies of the game by 8 points. So again, the Big Reds need a good service sequence this time.
What you'll see now is Lisa Lashbrook coming out of the back row to set for the Big Reds. That's tough to defend.
When you're right on top of the net, halfway across and then drop, it's very hard to figure.
And Brenda's going to say, I planned that. I expected to do that down 13 feet and drop.
That's
With Brenda O'Malley.
And she's happy about that with a nice big smile on her face as she comes out. But again, those are the breaks of the game. You know,
Absolutely.
golf, I guess they talk whatever they do. Not what they call in football. Jennifer Graham in the serving position. Huskies need 2 points to close out this match. They must win 2 games out of the 3 for the match. Good defense by number 14, Big Reds. Lashbrook made a good defensive play in the match. Couldn't quite get the point. This is game point and match point. Huskies won the second game of this match 15-5. First game they won 15-10. And I just want to mention at this point, following this game, the Huskies will be playing the Russian junior national team, I believe, up in Yale. And it should be an exciting